Smash! Smash!
Pizza, pasta, put it in a box, bring it here and put it on my counter.
It's like, I don't know, like...
I'm not a on the first night type of dude.
Right.
Either, unless you...
No.
I'm overstimulated!
Meet BoxOfProps, aka George Ross Martinez. Known for his massive following on TikTok with over 35,000 followers currently. He joined TikTok somewhere around 2022 to 2023 and became a cosplayer in the Mario community, known for his flashy Metal Mario and Golden Mario cosplays. Recently, he has been in some hot water back in December 2025 for an Instagram screenshot of his supposed Instagram account talking and admitting that he got caught allegedly DMing young female minors by his ex-wife and had to delete his account along with all of his other social media accounts except TikTok. Although that was a lie of itself because he still has some accounts up and running, accounts like his Twitter, his Facebook, his Lemonade, and a new Instagram account that he just created, which we will go over later. Some claim that this is fake and not even his real Instagram account, but I, along with my team that started this investigation on him, have reason to believe that it was his actual account. Since these screenshots got leaked and spread around, a small team, with me included, decided to do an investigation on Ross, and oh boy, did we learn a lot about this awful man. So today we're going to go over people's testimonies that we have gotten about Ross, whether it be online or IRL, along with an audio interview of a person that was friends with Ross IRL. So this whole thing started to come to my attention when a couple of friends of mine on TikTok had an issue with Ross trying to sabotage another TikToker that was trying to get hired for a voice acting role for a fan-made project. I won't dive too deep into this as both TikTokers made their own videos about exposing what Ross was trying to do on their TikTok accounts, which I will link their accounts in the description below for anyone who wants to see. But I ended up talking to the main person that was trying to get the role, and he gave me the rundown of what happened. I then asked, in his own words, how he would best describe Ross as a person, and oh boy, was it not good. He said, the best way I could describe BoxOfProps is a toxic person with a lot of flaws who tries to deflect and turn the blame on other people when Ross has rightfully been called out or confronted by his behavior. So, we're already not on a good start on how people view Ross. Not long after the allegations of the Instagram screenshots came out, Ross ended up posting a quick video on TikTok.
I'm having to do this video in this outfit, but it's been brought to my attention that there has been a fake Instagram account pretending to be me. I'm not using Instagram at the moment, and the claims that they're making are just completely false and defamatory. So if y'all hear anything about me, or if it is me, this is really my only channel at the moment, so I need you to message me about it.
In it, he claims the Instagram account was a fake account, and what is said in it is false, saying that the only account he currently has is TikTok, but we already know that is a lie because of his Facebook, Twitter, and now his most recent new Instagram account are still up. Even if they are not very active, he still has them up and running. So you can't claim TikTok is your only account, Ross. Quit your lying. The next person I talked to was another cosplayer going by Tiny Icarus as their Discord name that had an IRL issue with Ross, who said, at KetsuCon last year, he attacked my friend Dan over some sort of commission dispute that did not work in his favor. He ripped apart of my friend's costume off intentionally as revenge during the Smash Brothers tournament and ran off once Dan alerted security. Ross was unaware of my boyfriend at the time witnessing the attack. After the photo shoot, my boyfriend went to the bathroom and I sat in the hallway waiting for him. Ross and his friend cornered me and began to talk ill about Dan, telling me that he purposely attacked him, that Dan was a little bitch for alerting security, and that he had to leave the shoot to change his costume so security would not recognize him. Ross and his friend only backed up from my personal space once my boyfriend returned from the bathroom, talking about how he hates thieves. They both told me they were heading to the gaming room and left. I had no idea what he was talking about until my boyfriend informed me about the attack. Afterwards, we saw Dan and went with him to security to add to his report, as previously the Ketchikan staff were under the impression no one witnessed the attack as it happened to the side of a meetup where everyone else was paying attention to the photo shoot. Afterwards, I warned my other Mario cosplaying friend present at the convention, who had just happened to know Ross loosely well. They had told me he had been making racist jokes towards them, and his excuse was, "Oh, I can say that because my name is of Latin descent." Since then, he has repeatedly talked ill of me because I shared my experience and won't be quiet over the fact he assaulted my friend. So let me get this straight. So this man not only destroyed someone's prop, he had an altercation with a well-known cosplayer named Dan. Dan is actually well known for his Metroid 8-bit cosplay. And he was also making some racist joke towards Icarus's friend as well. By the way, these racist jokes and comments are going to pop up more later in the video, as a lot of people have stated he is racist. I then asked Icarus to tell me in her own words what she thought of Ross as a person. And she said, Ross is a racist, misogynistic, delusional man-baby chud who is a danger to our community. As an autistic, I am severely disappointed with his constant excuse of autism being the reason why he is constantly harassing and belittling people. Anyone who does not condone his behavior just becomes a victim of his slander and his attacks. So, once again, we have yet another person that doesn't view Ross as a good person and harasses people that calls Ross out. Peach Kitty Cosplay was the next person I talked to. And while she didn't have much interaction with Ross besides him trying to hit her up about getting her to platinum on Marvel Rivals of all things, and the drama about him and his ex-cosplaying girlfriend that used to go by Byte being abusive to one another, she did have some screenshots of these very cringe-worthy comments he made on threads. You can really tell he has very high respect for women in these screenshots, can't you? Peachy also sent the screenshots of him talking about Marvel Rivals along with going off with an unhinged comment about his ex cheating on him, in which I'm guessing he's referring to either Byte or his ex-wife. I don't know. Just like the last two people I asked her thoughts on how she viewed Ross. And she said, he's unhinged, he's untrustworthy, and frankly immature. Whether that's emotionally or whatever it is. He's crude, and he would target minors with his live stream and act in highly inappropriate ways, making innuendos of clip farming in hopes of going viral. He's deeply jealous of anyone who's more successful and has resentment for anyone who succeeds in ways he deems is above what he deserves. So already, again, this is 3 people I've done talk to that has had nothing nice to say about Ross, and we're just getting started. Mario was the next person I talked to about Ross. He had some conversations with him before Ross deleted his account. In an earlier conversation they had, Mario had asked why Ross's Instagram was gone. Ross said it got banned because he uploaded the word K-I-L-L instead of unalived in a video. He then asked Mario if he was curious about people spreading rumors, assumingly about him. Now, does this match up with the Instagram account that was allegedly messaging minors on? That part is unclear, as I do remember Ross having 2 Instagram accounts, one being BoxOfProps and another being Ross Martinez. Later on, Mario ended up blocking Ross on his account and then unblocked him to explain why Mario had blocked him in the first place. Mario ended up saying that he wanted peace. He didn't want to deal with any of Ross's drama that was going around. Ross then mentioned about how he thought Mario blocked him because of Byte, his ex-girlfriend, or this supposed stalker. This will be mentioned quite a bit in the video later on as well. He goes on by saying that the stalker and Byte was talking negatively about him, and he thought that was the reason why Mario blocked him. Now, given what we've gone over so far, it's not that surprising people are talking negatively about him. Now, Mario didn't know who the stalker is, and Byte, his ex-girlfriend, had him blocked, so there was nothing Mario could see that had anything to do with Byte. Mario ended up talking to another person that had an issue with Ross after Mario had made a video on his TikTok exposing Ross. The person ended up telling Mario that he had a friend that was being harassed at a Houston con and is apparently a stalker of the old Mario voice actor Charles Martinet. Mario then asked the person what Ross did to their friend. he said he did the same stuff that he mentioned in Mario's TikTok video, which I will link in the description as well for anyone who wants to see it. The person then goes on to say that he also tried to groom a 17-year-old and kicked her out when she wouldn't have sex with him. The person also said that Ross is apparently banned from visiting Charles's table at cons because he was stalking him. And you have to be a real creep or a bad person to get banned by Charles. He is one of the nicest people you could ever meet. I met him once. He is the nicest person I have probably ever met in my life. Finally, I asked Mario's views on how he saw Ross as a person. And he said, a creepy guy who really knows how to manipulate any situation so he is the better looking person. So, let's backtrack for a minute. That Instagram screenshot of the alleged grooming minors is looking pretty good about now, isn't it? And this is now the fourth person that has had nothing nice to say about Ross at all. Really says a lot about him. It was at this point, me and my team, we tried to do some digging into finding out who Ross's ex-wife was. Because before Bite, the ex-girlfriend, Ross was married. The ex-wife was an African-American woman. I know, crazy, right? This guy was married. While trying to find the ex-wife, we ended up finding Ross's Mario-themed wedding with his ex-wife on his Facebook page, which is still up to this day as BoxOfProps Mario. We reached out to people that attended the wedding, or people that was at least friends with the ex-wife. One person I talked to that was friends with the ex-wife, who wishes to stay anonymous for good reasons, knew about Ross's ex-girlfriend. Almost immediately after the divorce is when Ross got with the ex-girlfriend. It was told that Ross groomed the underage girlfriend seemingly around 17 until she was 18. Ross is around 40 years old, by the way. Like, he's still in his 30s, but he's around 40. Now, I don't exactly know how old he was when him and the ex-wife got married, but I'm sure if you go look at the Facebook page when they posted all these pictures about the Mario-themed wedding, you could probably make a guess. But here's the thing. We found the ex-wife. We even had a conversation with her. And she wished us to not mention her name or username in the video, which we respected. She also wished us to not use any of her statements out of fear that Ross would try to get in contact with her again. Because previously, when they split up, it was reported that Ross was still stalking his ex-wife on many forms of social media and harassing her. This was told to us by many friends of the ex-wife. Now, along with the friends of the ex-wife, many of them talked to us and told us how he would treat her, saying he was abusive to her, emotionally, physically, mentally, and financially. He would make fun of her weight by fat-shaming her, along with making extremely racist remarks and jokes about her. What kind of sick person does that to their own wife, to your spouse? Who would talk to their spouse like that? I'll tell you who. Ross Martinez, apparently. Because it's already been shown he has no respect for women whatsoever. It is even backed up, even more, that the alleged grooming started shortly after the divorce, along with his stalking. Because here's what's even more messed up. When he kicked his ex-wife out of his mother's, that's right, not his house, his mother's house, Ross tried to pressure her into having sex with him for her to get her things back. You are a low-down piece of shit if you have to do that to somebody. It's not okay. And it's considered theft, not giving back what she rightfully owns. Another friend of the ex-wife made a post on a video exposing Ross. She was saying that he called me a piece of shit. All because she was trying to help encourage the ex-wife to leave and divorce Ross. Once again, someone else is bringing up that he was abusive to her. He was jealous because she would get way more attention than him at a con they were at. He threw a pair of sewing scissors at her out of jealousy. Whenever the ex-wife and him got into it, Ross would have a friend try to smooth things over with the ex-wife, saying, "Hey, I'm sorry, he's autistic, please forgive him." Ross, I'm going to say this to you right now. I have an older brother with autism, and it doesn't matter if you have autism or not. My older brother, who has low-functioning autism, cannot do the following things because of his autism. He cannot drive a car. He cannot make his own food. He cannot wash his own clothes. He cannot get a job. He cannot speak normally like you and me. And sometimes he needs to have assistance when taking a shower. But do you want to know the most insane part? Even though his autism is worse than yours at the age of 33, he knows the difference between right and wrong. He knows what to do and what not to do. And you know what that means? It means so can you. It is unacceptable to use your autism as an excuse. You cannot use it as an excuse because you know what you're doing is wrong. You are responsible for your own actions. You made these decisions. There is no excuse you can use except that you're a piece of shit. And I'm sorry. I'm sorry I got upset about that part. But I am so sick and tired of hearing people use autism or some form of disability as an excuse. Now, for some people with the disability, you could get away with that. Because it might be something they can't control. That's not something that they physically can control. But you can. You can control what you're doing, Ross. Stop using it as an excuse and take accountability. I ended up talking to yet another friend of the ex-wife who ended up saying almost the same thing about how Ross would treat the ex-wife. He was abusive to her emotionally, physically, and verbally. He took advantage of her during the marriage, along with manipulating her, and yet another person confirming that he was looking at younger women. This once again backs up the Instagram screenshots of his ex-wife catching him DMing minors. Now, while talking to many of the ex-wife's friends, I ended up going back to TikTok to talk to a female cosplayer that had some sort of issue with Ross. While it's worth to note that this female cosplayer's interaction wasn't as bad as the other issues we have talked about, it's still worth noting. She said that he would say sexual innuendos to her, such as, "I always have a one-up mushroom for you." And when saying his favorite game was Super Smash Bros., he would instead say, "I like to smash." She was friends with Ross until, I guess, the Instagram screenshots came out about DMing minors and then blocked him. I ended up talking to yet another person on TikTok who also wishes to stay anonymous, that she had an issue with Ross too. She was in a Discord server, which will not be named, and was talking to a woman in the server who just so happened to be the ex-wife of Ross. They talked about the ex-wife's side of the marriage, and the woman agreed with the ex-wife calling Ross a creep. The next day, after the ex-wife and the female had that conversation in a public Discord server chat, Ross joined the server and started going off on the ex-wife and some other people as well. The ex-wife and Ross was getting into it on a public Discord server where Ross was being extremely hurtful and heinous to her the entire time, calling her dumb and making fun of her weight again, making fun of her being able to read a calendar, saying that he did love her but not as much as his ex-girlfriend, and again, making fun of her mental health, saying her mental health is that of the Joker from Batman. Then making fun of her for not being the mother and that he would be dancing around saying, "You're not the father." Like one of those AI dancing dogs with him not being the father of the puppies.
What did he say?
That's weird, but the ex-wife said that was low even for him. Ross then proceeds to say, "Lower than putting your greasy mouth on half of the friend group for half a PB&J and a torn bag of weed." While it's unclear if the ex-wife cheated on Ross or not, this is still not how you talk to people online whatsoever. This is disgusting, demeaning, and bullying. Something that has been a common theme with Ross since we've been doing this investigation. He then goes on to say more stuff in the public server about his ex-wife, along with someone in the server named Decon. Decon saying that the only reason they were talking about Ross wasn't because of his ex-wife, but they were talking about him because of a picture of Ross being a guest at a con, with some people calling him a toxic person and a creep. Ross made fun of Decon for finding his supposed stalker when Decon didn't even know there was a stalker. Ross then tells Decon, "So how does your foot taste, or would you like to take it out of your mouth?" Decon said all he did was take the screenshot of the picture, and Ross again started to be rude to him. "Congratulations. If you would have done 2 seconds of research, you wouldn't be standing there looking like a dunce." Decon says he didn't know Ross like that, nor know he had a stalker. Ross then says a line close to Will Smith, "Then why is my name in your mouth?" Decon explains to Ross that the only reason they were talking to him again wasn't because of his ex-wife nor the stalker. It was because of the community as a whole viewing him and talking about him in general. Frankly, Decon handled this situation a whole lot nicer and a whole lot calmer than I would have. But this just goes again on how you do not talk to people like this on the internet. This was an attack on the ex-wife and anyone that talks about Ross. So tell me, Ross, how does your foot taste in your mouth now that people know how you talk to others? Does it taste good? Because I bet it does. Going back to the same female TikToker that was talking about Ross going off in the server, her experience with Ross after the whole server situation ended up becoming an IRL issue. Her and her friend named Jay, in the main area of a con to host a K-pop random dance and musical chairs, that's when the female saw Ross walking towards her, holding a phone and recording her, while calling her out by her cosplay. Ross asks why does she support the ex-wife and claiming that the ex-wife is a predator. The female asks why Ross was talking to her, with Ross responding, "Okay, I'll go away, but you know where to find me if we have a problem." This caused the female to have a full panic/anxiety attack and was very uncomfortable. She tried to inform security, but they wouldn't do anything about it. Shame on them. But a nice female con staff member wanted to help her, and she went looking for Ross. And as soon as Ross saw her, he ducked into a room and fled the con. Now, it is unknown if he went to the con because he knew the female TikToker would be there, or if he had already planned to go to the con and just happened to find out she was going to be there. Either way, this seemed to be a target towards the female about the ex-wife. So, I will let you determine if this was stalking or not, but to me, it kinda seemed like it is. Then, I asked the female how she viewed Ross. And she said, "Just from my own experience, he's a self-centered person who thinks he's a big shot because he got slightly famous on TikTok." And I could not agree more with her comment. It was around this time Ross ended up making a new Instagram account and making only one video.
Is George Martinez, BoxOfProps. A fake account is spreading serious allegations about me, including grooming and abuse. These claims are false. Like many people, I've had personal conflicts that are being taken out of context. This is part of an ongoing stalking and impersonation situation that's being documented and handled through the proper channels. I will not be engaging in online arguments.
In there, Ross is talking about how a fake Instagram account that is currently spreading fake rumors about him are all false. Ross was saying that this account was saying nothing but fake rumors of grooming and abuse and saying all of it was out of context. He claims this situation has been documented and handled through the proper channels. What does that mean? Nobody knows because he refuses to talk about what that is. Now, I know this Instagram account, and he isn't doing anything wrong. All he's doing is reposting what people have been making about BoxOfProps, via the exposure videos on TikTok, or stuff he's come across from Ross. So, whatever he's been saying about BoxOfProps / Ross Martinez is just stuff he's been coming across. Unless Ross is talking about a different Instagram account that I didn't know about, then that could be the case, but the only Instagram account I know about is this Instagram account called Cancel George Ross Martinez. So when Ross decided to make this new Instagram account, he didn't have me blocked on it, so I decided to make a comment on there, basically stating that he brought all of this onto himself, and I warned him about this on a TikTok video that he made when he tried to address the allegations on his TikTok. He then blocked me on that TikTok when I made that comment. I then told him back on the Instagram account that you can't sweep this under the rug, that more and more people are going to expose his true colors, so stop acting like a victim and own up to it. You want to know what all he said? All he said was the same thing he mentioned in the video. That's it. Didn't try to refute it, didn't try to dismiss it, nothing. He just said the same thing in the video. So I sent him one more message. I said, if you want to go through the proper channels, be my guest. As for the rest of the community, everything is under free speech with receipts. It's everyone's right to spread awareness of your behavior. You are not welcome in this community because of how you act, whether there are crimes committed or not. And you want to know what he said after I said that? Nothing. He blocked me. No surprise, is it? I ended up talking to the account Ross was probably calling out in his new Instagram video and got his side of the story. The Instagram account I am talking about is still Cancel George Ross Martinez. And he told me back in 2013 at a con called OniCon in Texas, he and his then girlfriend at the time, which they are now married, was cosplaying a cute couple of Ash and Pikachu, of him being Ash and his wife being Pikachu. He said they saw Ross taking pictures with an Asian group of Mario cosplayers, and they thought that was Ross's friends. Ross then approached his girlfriend and straight up says, "I see you've been eating a lot of mushrooms," and made a round gesture. This couple was deeply offended, and everyone around them thought Ross was calling her fat. They were shy and didn't know what to say or do at the comment. The Asian Mario cosplayers stepped in and tried to apologize for what Ross had said, and calling Ross an idiot. They looked pissed off at Ross for saying that to the couple. The Asian cosplayers and the couple then decided to walk away from Ross and try to enjoy the rest of their time at the con. They later saw Ross talking to another group very loudly saying, "I don't know why they all left. I told them the truth about her boobs. They were as big like she ate mushrooms." The couple were both mortified at Ross's comment, and the boyfriend was pissed off that Ross was a big creep, and rightfully so. I then asked the Instagram account that goes by Cancel George Ross Martinez how he viewed Ross as a person, and oh boy, was it anything but nice. I'm actually going to let you read what all he has to say about how he views Ross, because it was a lot. Now, there's so much more about how Ross has acted with so many people IRL and online. I wouldn't be surprised if there was more people out there that had some sort of issue with Ross, either presently or in the past. Here are some screenshots of him in the same Discord server as his ex-wife, along with some other screenshots. Of how he's been acting. Now, you're probably thinking, well, at this point, Ross had to make a new video addressing his actions to all of these people, right? Wrong. This guy has done nothing but acted like nothing happened, and has been continuing to post TikTok videos like he normally does. Here, this is his recent video out on his TikTok. He just wants to sweep all of this under the rug and not address it at all. And if anything I've told you at all isn't enough, I was able to get in contact with the owner of the Discord server Ross was in before he got kicked out. And I asked if I could get a written statement from him, and to my surprise, he would willingly do the written statement, but he would prefer to do an audio interview instead. Now, I gladly accepted his request, with his condition of him staying anonymous and using a voice changer. So here's what he had to say. Okay, it's recording. Let me ask the question again. In your own words, how would you best describe George Ross Martinez, BoxOfProps, as a person?
I think he's a dumbass. I think he's an idiot because he allowed multiple people that had didn't have his best interest at heart, kind of influenced who he was as an individual. People that turn tail and run and like bark and like or bite like as soon as that's the first sign of trouble, instead of trying to fix the issue, he has a very self-destructive mindset. Like, if I'm gonna go down, we're all going down. I'm taking everybody with me. Or if I'm not happy, no one's allowed to be happy. That's why I think he's dumb. Honestly, if he had just manned up, owned up to his mistakes, and tried to work towards being a better individual, showed the community, like, look, I've made mistakes. No one's perfect. People can learn. People get in trouble. Like, it's kind of like going to jail, right? You go and serve your time and then you come out rehabilitated. Or maybe like a drug addict, they can go in and get clean and then come back as a better person. Could he have, like, he could have just owned up, admitted that he made a mistake, apologized to the community, and just went away for a while and just bettered himself as an individual, work on himself, and start proving to the community that he can be better as an individual. But instead of that, he started acting out, lashing out, like attacking people, stalking them, and making it worse. And then, like, he listened to like certain individuals about, like, hey, like, this mindset, like the whole grooming thing, this is okay. Once they're 18, it's fine. Like, no, bro, you're a middle-aged man and these are still children. Like, I think he needs to change who his influential circle is, because they're damaging him more individually. Then I think he just needs to go away and just, like, work on himself. And that's why I think he's a dumbass, because he allows so many people to give him so much wrong information. And, like, his mindset is, like I said, it's just to lash out. So, like, if this house is going to burn down, no one's escaping the house. We're all going to go down. The ship's sinking, we're all going down. He has the self-destruct, kind of like the Kraft mentality. You understand where I'm coming from with that?
I do. Do you think Ross should also make a apology video for his actions and address the actions he has made?
Yes, I believe that the first step that Ross should do to being better as an individual is to make amends. I'm not saying that he has to go and, like, pay people and give them money or anything like that, but the first step to any healing is start owning up. And the second that he starts apologizing to everyone for his actions is the moment he starts owning all the things that he's done. He's never, and plus it's going to provide closure. I'm sorry if I'm rambling a bit, but I do believe that if he apologized to everyone and apologized to the community and kind of showed signs that he is going to better himself and grow, then, he wouldn't be the center point of attention in a negative light.
And that you're completely fine with the rambling. It, like I said, in your own words, what you did was perfectly fine. Do you think people would feel comfortable around Ross, minors or little kids, regardless if they're male or female? Do you think it would be safe for them to be around Ross with the type of person he is currently?
That is a really tough question to answer, because I feel like he is harmless. I think that he was made to believe that, hey, 17 is the age of consent. If they're 17 years old, it's okay for you to start talking to them and possibly dating or having some kind of sexual relationship, which is absolutely not okay. I think that he got fed that and he believes it now. So yeah, in that case, it's probably not safe. But, like, around actual children, like, I don't know. Because of that mindset, I can't condone him being around kids, even though he's like that way with one age group. Just because of that, because those are children, I wouldn't have him around any of the children that I, like, my nieces and nephews or anything like that.
Okay.
Because I don't want him to influence it's not about whether he would get physical or, like, touch them inappropriately or just come off as weird. it's that mindset they could rub off as being dangerous, right? Like he could be a bad influence on them. Like, hey,
And that's
like,
what I was referring. I just didn't word it the right way, I guess.
mhm.
I mean, so far with the interview I've done, I mean, besides destroying another cosplayer's prop and the ex-wife and girlfriend situation, I haven't come across him being violent towards other people that I am aware of.
Am I allowed to cuss?
Yes,
He's a chicken shit.
he's a what?
He's a chicken shit. He's not gonna get violent.
I didn't think he would. Just like I said, I have nothing from my investigation showing he was violent towards anyone. So that's why I never mentioned any violence.
Yeah, he's not the violent type. I don't condone violence. I don't at all.
No one does.
But he's definitely not the violent type. He's more of the talk trash to you. He's kind of like a chihuahua. He'll bark, but as soon as you open
like
the slide,
COD lobby.
yeah.
Okay, that's a better representation, to be honest. Okay, next question, and you don't have to answer this if you do not want to. I know we talked about it, but next question: is Ross currently still working with the school, helping kids with special needs?
I have heard that he is. I cannot confirm nor deny, because I myself am not 100% aware. But I have heard that yes, he still works in a school system, or he still works for I believe a public school system.
Or because you don't know if he currently works there or not, do you have knowledge that he used to work at a school system?
Yeah.
Was he
Yeah.
also still working with special needs students?
I believe so.
Did we mention his autism when I was recording? I think we did.
Yes, we did. We talked about is that he used it as an excuse or as a crutch. I would like to say, I don't know if crutch is the correct term, but I feel like he is using it as a crutch as a way to kind of like get by whenever he's knee deep in shit. And I said that that's not an excuse. Like, and you shared briefly about your personal life and how you've dealt with someone who has autism, and I've shared that I've known people that have it, and we've talked about like that's not excuse. That's not because you know better. Like autism doesn't
Absolutely.
work like that.
Absolutely. Do you know if Ross was ever racist towards anybody? An ex-girlfriend, an ex-wife, friends, or just someone in the cosplaying community?
I mean, he's made tasteless jokes that involve racism, but is he actually racist? I don't think he is.
Okay. And how would you describe how he treats his friends?
Oh, that's easy. It's I'm trying to describe the mindset, but it's kind of like, okay, I'm only friends with these people because I can use them at some point. Like I can get something out of them. They provide like a service, right? It's kind of like, okay, they bring something to the table. If they don't bring something to the table, I'm not gonna be friends with them.
Right.
So to him, some friends are transactional. Like you bring something to the table that I can benefit from. Therefore, you are part of my social circle. That's how I believe he treats his friends. It's transactional.
I happen to believe that as well, as I was a victim of that with the collab he wanted me to do, and future collabs he wanted me to do that I declined. One more thing. I know you mentioned that the screenshot of the Instagram where his wife caught him talking to minors you think is false. But you also said that it wasn't untrue. Could you elaborate on that?
So he has a TikTok and he does talk to his fans. I've heard from some of his friends that he does talk to a lot of like people that message him, that follow him, that love him. He has a praise kind of like I don't know if the word like kink or something like that. Like he loves it when people praise him, and sometimes he messages people like especially girls that are like not 18,
Okay.
and he will be friendly with them, and then the story is that once they hit 18, because he's already planted that friendship seed, he starts flirting with them. So it's more of a grooming thing, but his ex-wife, who I briefly knew for a bit, I don't talk to her anymore. I haven't communicated with her in a very long time. She's told me that like they never were in each other's business that way. It's more of the other way around. He was more nosy, like controlling, like, okay, I gotta go through your phone. I gotta go through your stuff.
Boom! This guy was a friend of Ross IRL and pretty much just said everything Ross has done in this video so far. At this point, it should be very clear that George Ross Martinez, Box of Props, is not as nice as a person as he makes himself out to be in his TikTok videos whatsoever. So, closing thoughts. Do I think Box of Props has been talking to minors? 100% yes, I do. Do I think Ross is a groomer? In my opinion, yes, I do. Given what we've heard and gone over, I do think that he is. Do I think that Ross is a nice person? At first, yeah, I thought he was when I first met him when I joined TikTok. But more and more stuff about him started coming out, and it started showing his true colors about who he really is. So no, I don't think he is at all. Do I think he is safe to be around other people and should be going to cons? Fuck no. This man needs some serious help and some Jesus. He needs psychological help, in my opinion. And as a soon-to-be parent, I wouldn't feel safe having my future child being near him at all. Do I think he was abusive to his past girlfriend and ex-wife? Given what I have gathered from so many people, 100% yes, I do. I think he did. Now, all in all, everyone, Box of Props is not the guy he makes himself out to be. And I've given you testimonies from so many people that have had an issue with him. And I've given you what I think of Ross Martinez in my opinion. I know there's going to be people out there that's going to say I'm a liar or choose not to believe in this video. And, you know, this isn't the first time that has happened because my friends who made exposure videos on Ross on their TikToks and one on their YouTube channel all pretty much said that we are all liars and that we're bullying Ross. But that's not the case. We're not bullying Ross whatsoever. We're trying to spread awareness of what he has been doing. But you know what? That's not my problem. If anyone out there wants to believe Ross, then you go for it. I can't stop you. And obviously this video meant nothing to you. But sooner or later, you will see Ross's true colors. And by the time you do, the damage will already have been done to you. So, in my opinion, approach him with caution and talk to him with caution for those of you who want to believe him. As for me, if I get any more info about Ross, you best believe I'm going to make another video about him. So, until then, try to stay safe, everyone.